Hello and welcome. I'm Kevin J. N. Hughes, the author of The Undamned. By the way, that's for John Nicholas, Kevin John Nicholas Hughes, for those of you who are wondering. So I'm telling the story of Doug. He is a listener of the show, and he's entrusted us with his story. And um, after the sleep paralysis event, Doug says that the entities, he didn't have another like sleep paralysis event in that house happen right away, but he says that the entities never really departed after the witch warlock guy, voodoo guy walked away that night. He finally gathered himself and sort of forced himself to go back in the house, and he was planning to try to face this thing head on, but when he entered the house, he said that he didn't feel it anymore, so he was going to go back to sleep. But even though he didn't feel it anymore that night, it wasn't gone by any stretch of the imagination. He refused to tell the senior pastor at the Lutheran church what he was experiencing, what he was going through. Um, and he says that that's because he just wanted to pretend that it hadn't happened. First of all, like I said before, people haven't been believing him all along, so he got to a place where he just didn't want to tell people that this stuff was happening to him anymore. But second of all, he really wanted to pretend that it didn't happen. He was kind of embarrassed about it, kind of um, really freaked out by it and disturbed, and he just wanted to move on with his life. Um, but he says that these entities never really left, and one of the ways that they would manifest in the house after that sleep paralysis event is kind of weird, but it is something I've heard a lot. And if you're familiar with the Amityville story, then this will sound very familiar, but the way that these entities would show themselves was through bugs. I mentioned that the house that he was living in at the time had a cockroach infestation, but up until that point, he said that the cockroaches kind of left people alone and weren't really that frightening. But after that, he says all bets were off. It was constant cockroaches every day. They'd be trying to sleep and they could hear the cockroaches buzzing around, flying around, beating their wings all night, and it became almost impossible to sleep in the house because of constant cockroach activity. Um, the cockroaches would you'd be sitting there eating or watching TV or something, and cockroaches would fly at you, and it was just terrible time. Cockroaches would fly across the room while you were trying to watch television. And weirdly though, when this would happen, he would get that same oppressive feeling, not the choking, but just the anger and the oppression and the malice that he had felt the night where he was being choked. So he feels that whatever it was that was choking him was now also working through these cockroaches. And uh, we'll continue next time.